I know you're busy, got trade deadline, so if you have to jump, you jump here. Is there any updates, anything looming right now on your horizon?
Well, I just broke the Kyle Kuzma trade to the Milwaukee Bucks for Chris Middleton. So that was one that I've been trying to narrow down for the last couple of days. But now all shifts to Jimmy Butler, Kevin Durant. Let's start in Phoenix. In Phoenix, I'm told that it is very unlikely that Bradley Beal will waive his no-trade clause, which makes bringing Jimmy aboard all that more complicated. So now there are teams actually aggressively poaching the Phoenix Suns and trying to get them to entertain the possibility of letting KD go. One of those teams for sure is the way I would describe it, the way teams are describing is that the Golden State Warriors are very thirsty. They're thirsty. That's the way they're describing the Golden State Warriors. And so they are definitely one of the teams that's trying to see if they can get their hands back on KD. And then what does that mean for Jimmy Butler? That remains to be seen. That's kind of the question mark right now.
Okay. Let's stay with Durant just for a second. Does KD want to play? Has anybody asked him, would you want to be reunited with Steph Curry?
I think right now, I don't know that for a fact, but DP, come on. We're hours removed from the deadline. Like, these talks have to be going on right now. And that's not anything that I can confirm right now. But listen, he sees the chatter. KD is on social media more than most people. he knows and understands what's going on here. And right now, it's like it's a weird dynamic right here, being at the fact that the Suns will possibly move off of KD. I'm told it's still unlikely, but there are teams out there that are saying that the Suns have advanced to entertaining, moving KD. So we'll see.
Okay. What's Bradley Beal doing?
What is he doing, DP?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to go anywhere. I mean, I know he's getting paid, and he probably likes living in Phoenix. Doesn't have to play for the Wizards anymore. You're making $50 million a year. Might as well just stay there and retire. But he doesn't care about maybe going to a team that might win a championship?
Well, he thought that's what he was signing up for when he waived his no trade to come to Phoenix.
Okay.
Look, I mean, the other part is, DP, there are teams out there. The Phoenix Suns have done their due diligence in trying to see if there are teams out there that fit the description of what Bill is looking for. The Suns have checked to see if they have interest. Teams don't have interest. I mean, listen, simply, Miami Heat. Bradley Beal had interest in the Miami Heat in years prior, and that interest was mutual. The interest is not mutual anymore, and that messes up a smooth Jimmy Bradley Beal type swap. So it's not just Beal. He likes to live in a warm weather city. He's one of two players that have a no trade clause, so he's using that right.
We're talking to Chris Haynes, the Haynes Briefs that will be on YouTube, senior NBA insider. Charles Barkley yesterday told me he thinks the Mavs won the deal with the Lakers right now with AD because he thinks that they could win a championship this year. Your thoughts?
VP, Charles told you a lot. He told you more than that.
Yeah.
He kind of made some headlines with what he said. Chuck, I love when Chuck comes on your show, DP. We get some candid responses from Chuck. You do a good job of bringing it out. DP.
What do you think of what Charles said about the Mavericks with bringing in AD?
Yeah. So when you look at all right. So let's first of all, I know Nico Harrison was getting a lot of flack for not opening up the trade market, not informing teams that Luka was available. And, you can have some gripes about that for sure. But he identified the player that he wanted. And so if that is the player that he and the franchise and ownership group, if that's the player that they wanted, they didn't see any reason to go outside and open it up. Because as you know, when you open it up, it's going to leak. And then you got the public perception to deal with. We've seen how the Mavs fans took Luka being traded. So just think about it, dealing with that throughout the whole process. And so I do agree with Chuck, DP. I do think that this roster is pretty good. I don't believe that they're done. I still think they're still making moves, and you've seen what they added Caleb Martin, who is a fine, solid 3-and-D guy in this league. And you bring Kyrie to his natural point guard position, and AD, he talked about it for weeks, well, not weeks, years, about wanting to play alongside a real center. He got about 3 real centers out there in Dallas right now. So I do think they have a really good shot of being a legitimate championship contender.
But a better chance to win a title in the next 2 years, Dallas or the Lakers?
Dallas. I have to go with Dallas. I think L.A., they're in a sort of a transformation going on right now. They've obviously brought in Luka to take over the reins when LeBron James retires, whether that's at the end of this season or at the end of next season. But I think now the Lakers have to start bringing in guys that's going to complement Luka. So I think the Dallas Mavericks made a move for the short term. The Lakers made this move for the long term.
I like what the Spurs did. Who would have thought that the Sacramento Kings would get more for De'Aaron Fox than Dallas did for Luka, in my opinion?
Luka.
Yeah. I kept saying if Wemby gets a legitimate point guard who can get him the ball, get him in the right positions, I mean, he's going to be the best player in the game by 25.
Yeah, the San Antonio Spurs, they had a bit of a conundrum. I said this before, but they had the Spurs had De'Aaron Fox and Trae Young on their radar of being who is going to be that next point guard to kind of elevate Wemby's game and take us to the next level. The problem was they didn't know when to make that shift to start trying to really compete, because they're not in a win-now situation. It's all about growth and development. But as you know, DP, rarely do you get star-level players saying that they want to come and play in San Antonio and being available now. So I think they had to look at the landscape and understand, okay, the caliber of player that he is right now, and they rolled the dice and they went for it, and they definitely made out well in that deal. I agree with you, DP.
Good to talk to you. Good luck with Haynes Briefs YouTube show. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, Chris.
DP, go make sure you make your way over there to Cafe Du Monde. Go get you some beignets.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
All right. You heard it from me first. Take care, DP.
That's Chris. I don't know if he's a food insider. We've heard of Cafe Du Monde.